I keep getting asked why I used Ember for the Operation Shadow Debt event. I did until the defense part, then I swapped. I did this because it was easier to take enemies out running around with her. Of course, I didn't use Ember. I used Ember Prime. Not with that colour on, I went with that one. No particular reason. Now, the build for this is weird. It has taken me 7 forma to get this right. I don't know where that is because I've only formatted it 6 times. But there are 2 V's, 2 dashes and 2 D's. I was planning on some other, but it never happened. It just kind of landed on this build and stayed there because I don't need to go any further until I max out the transient fortitude I have on here. Now that, it adds power strength, but of course it takes away duration. Same as Blind Rage adds strength but takes away power efficiency. So what happened here is I basically went corrupt mod crazy. So Narrow Minded is in here, which adds 99% power duration but takes away 66% power strength. That is countered by the Blind Rage, which instantly adds the 81% power strength. Transient Fortitude adding 45 on top of that. Overextend does take away another 60, so really this should be in the minus strengths, but it just isn't. It worked out at 166% power strength. With Overextend and Stretch it is 169% power range. With just Fleeting Expertise I got 115% power efficiency, but with Constitution, Narrow Minded and Prime Continuity I got 200% duration. Now this is great. I don't know why, but it's kind of like a duration efficiency build, and it works really well. I mean, in all honesty, I would like to also have, if I can remember the name of it offhand, what is the name of the strength mod? That's how messed up this is. I don't remember the name of Intensify. It did come to mind, of course. But Intensify would go really well in here, but it doesn't work as well. It will take them out quicker, but personally, I found just activating Accelerant, a second ability, kind of compensates for that anyway, because that stuns nearby enemies with strong Accelerant, and it increases all fire damage dealt. If you're running around with World on Fire, which deals high damage over time anyway, it's just works really, really well. So for the higher level stuff, you've got the 2 abilities on the go. Of course, you can't pick up power while doing this, so you do have to turn it off. But honestly, and I haven't actually recorded the footage that is playing in the background here, but I did go to Draco for this. I went to Draco because at the same time as recording this, I did drop the extra format into the Volcar Wraith that I wanted to drop in yesterday, which technically I am literally doing right now while recording this, because I didn't manage to get the 3rd format on that yesterday, and it just running around and being able to kill everything works really, really well. I'm trying to figure out what polarity to put on that weapon now. Now, I in no way endorse the use of Draco to level stuff up. I was just doing this to kind of show that even without using the weapon, this build is efficient enough that it's not the best build in the world, but it's kind of like the middle ground, because I do have Stretch in the Exilus slot, or whatever that thing is called. Not Stretch. Rush. I probably said that wrong the first time round. Well, whatever. The run mod. And it just, without the rush mod, she is too slow. That extra slot, once they brought it in, meant I did have to rework her a little. I had to add another forma in there. To be honest, another V polarity would work really well, and I will add that at a later date, but for now, until I max out that one mod, I don't really need it for her. But during the event, I was running around with World on Fire on, and even the level 30 enemies were not a problem. it will basically, because World on Fire's on constantly, it stuns them, then takes them out after a little bit, or you shoot them and that also takes them out, but it stuns them long enough that you can actually kill them. Even on the really, really high level stuff, it still stuns them when it first sets them on fire. The only problem is it won't set them all on fire, so if there's a big crowd of them, you do have to resort back to her third ability, I think, is Fire Blast. The one where she slams the ground and leaves the circle on there. That will stun anything that runs into it. So the build, just as I said before, it's not the best. The 115% efficiency, I would love to get streamlined into this, but you have to kind of mix the duration, because you really want the duration maxed, but because it uses energy over time, you kind of need the efficiency to cast it in the first place. Primed Flow would also work really well in place of Stretch, but you will lose the 169% range for something really stupid. I can't remember what it goes down to if you take the Stretch off. I do have it wrote down. Yeah, there it is. 124%, but it would need a polarity in there because the flow mod, the max primed flow, I don't have a max one, I'm just saying that wouldn't fit in there because this build literally took up every single point. There was not 1 point spare. Hence the reason the rush was a 10 and the transient fortitude was only a 14. But this is basically using all 4 of the original corrupt mods, the blind rage, narrow-minded, fleeting expertise, overextended, and even getting into some of the newer ones like the transient fortitude. It just kind of works.